Hello there. This is the Scr00bl0rd, and doing a video. I'm doing a review of Breath of the Wild. My last review was of The Last of Us, and I don't want to give off the idea that I'm just doing popular games, but I decided, hey, something I've always wanted to do. I play about three or four games a month, and decided I'd just start reviewing them as I make them. So anyway, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Just a little bit of context for me as a Zelda fan. I grew up playing it. Ocarina of Time is one of my favorite games, but I'm not one of those pricks who's like, "Oh, the game's perfect. It's untouchable. It's Legend." I just like the game because it is nostalgic, and I play it a few times a year, and but it has flaws, and a lot of Zelda games have flaws, and I enjoy them anyway, for the most part. But I wasn't a big fan of Twilight Princess. I wasn't a big fan of Skyward Sword. And after Skyward Sword came out and I played it, I kind of felt like, they were sticking to this very linear formula. And what I wanted from Nintendo was that they would create an open world game, much in the vein of the original Legend of Zelda. And with Breath of the Wild, they've pretty much done that. Which I appreciate. It's 2019. I mean, I saved up money and I bought the Switch, but yeah, I'm playing it 2 years after it comes out, and so as far as the typical Zelda plot, I think it does a pretty good job. I think it's possibly the best that it's ever been, with the Princess Zelda's captured by Ganon, go around the world, get stuff, defeat Ganon plot. I really like the cutscenes and the memories. I actually only found out close to the end of the game, because the missus told me that if you talk to this dude at a stable, you can find out where those photographs that are in the memories were taken. I just kind of like studied the photographs and kind of looked for landmarks and kind of went around to do it that way, and that was a lot of fun. And I didn't even talk to that dude ever once, and I discovered most things that way. She did help me find one. She did help me find the one at the base of Lanero Mountain, something, and that's like in front of a big gate. But I literally just beat the game like 10 minutes ago. And I guess kind of the big question is, as a Zelda fan, is it the best Zelda game ever made? And let me take a shot. I love me some tequila, tell you what, boy. That was actually supposed to be multiple shots throughout the video, but I'm a drunk. Anyway, it's not the best Zelda game ever, in my opinion. I still think Wind Waker is better. Close second. Could be close second. I definitely think, like I said, Ocarina is my favorite game, but I know it's not perfect. It's definitely better than Ocarina. But then again, Ocarina wasn't even the best game on the N64. Zelda-wise. Majora's Mask was. It was better! And in my opinion, Wind Waker is the pinnacle of Zelda. And as far as the reason I don't think Breath of the Wild is better than Wind Waker is because Breath of the Wild takes a bunch of the mechanics of open world games that have preceded it for the 6 years before it came out, kind of taken with Skyrim and kind of moving on forward. And I know a lot of those things in Skyrim were also not new when Skyrim came out, but Skyrim was kind of the benchmark of the time, even though I don't think that game is very good. That's for a different day. And Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild takes a lot from different open world games from different companies, Ubisoft and Bethesda, and it pulls them in, and it takes those mechanics and it refines them very well and polishes them very well, and thought about, hey, how have these mechanics been used, kind of weaker or lesser, and it takes them. And for instance, you know, having to actually place markers places and follow your map to things, and you know, having to, you know, you basically just kind of rely on your own wits and your own intelligence. And I appreciate that a lot. But the thing that I feel like separates Breath of the Wild and Wind Waker is that Wind Waker was it was a leader. It was a pioneer. I mean, Wind Waker kind of defined the way that games, you know, should have been done in throughout its console generation, because, you know, well, not everybody agreed with the shell shaded art aesthetic. It was very good, and it allowed the technology, like even to this day, if you play Wind Waker on the GameCube, it looks good, even on a high def television, because it, you know, did the very artsy aesthetic rather than the realistic aesthetic, which hasn't aged well coming from that era. And a lot of the best games, you know, God Hand and Afro Samurai and 13, you know, they all took that same aesthetic and really ran with it. And Wind Waker was more of a pioneer of its generation. There weren't, you know, big loading screens in between going places, because you just kind of sailed the ocean and it loaded as you went, and it was really technologically advanced. And Breath of the Wild, while it does take a bunch of things that have already been established and refines them to a beautiful point, which is, you know, definitely worth its own weight, you know, in its own way. It's not Wind Waker, because it I don't know, it's not really it's more of a follower than a leader. And but no, definitely a great game, and I had a good time with it. I thought it shook the Zelda formula up pretty well, and yeah, that's about all I have to say on it. Give it a go. I don't want to wait for my life to be over. Just please go ahead and turn off the camera. I don't want to wait for my life to be over. Will it be yes or will it be sorry? Shut off the fucking video, woman. Go it.